But since Isidore is playing right into your hands and taking advantage of my mother's pain, then I think it's best that he lose his family's company in the process. Keith is gonna pay for all of the pain he's caused. We're gonna get justice. It won't bring Ulysses back. You're right, it won't. I was so close to stopping him. Ulysses could have lived, but I failed. I failed to protect her. Goodbye, Alan. Have a wonderful life. I didn't ask you to come into my office, Isidore. What are you doing here? Since Terry left town, I wanted to try and see if we can fix our own issues. You want to fix the issue I have with you? Yes, Dad. How are we supposed to work together and continue to make this company a success when there's this tension between us? Alright, maybe there is a way you can find a solution to all of this. Can you bring my parents back to life? How are you holding up, Max? I don't know how I'm supposed to feel after having a bullet taken out of my body and losing one of my friends. Let me get this straight. You and Max are together? Then all of a sudden, he almost loses his life? A great start to a relationship, right? How's he holding up? He was just discharged from the hospital, and you'll be discharged in no time. That way, you won't have to miss Ulysses' funeral. I don't know how to feel about it, Vanessa. Sure, I didn't want to miss my chance to tell Ulysses goodbye, but I'm not looking forward to it either. What am I doing here, Mom? I need a huge favor from you, Alan. You're the only one who can help me at this point. Help you with what? I need you to speak with Terry and help me find out where she put Finnegan. Please try to understand where I am coming from, Dad. I wasn't trying to let Terry get away with what she did to Nono and Nona. Hearing your excuses is a waste of my time, Isidore. I don't need to hear how you thought you had everything under control because you clearly didn't. In fact, you allowed a catastrophe to occur. There's no way I would have known that Terry would give birth to a monster. I will not accept that. After what she did to my parents, it should have been obvious that she wouldn't have raised a saint. The moment you heard she was pregnant, it never occurred to you that she could possibly be carrying a spawn? Honey, I know that the pain is still fresh. Trust me, Mom. You don't want to know how it feels to have a bullet inside of you. I'm talking about your mental state, Max. My mental state? Well, I guess I should be grateful that I'm not paralyzed, so you won't have to worry about me buying any more substances to try and off myself again. Because if I was stuck in a wheelchair, then I would probably have wished that Keeve would have finished the job. Please don't talk like that, son. Listen to your father. You are lucky to be alive. I understand that what happened at the school will stay in your mind forever, but please, don't take your life for granted. In fact, you should be grateful. Grateful? It's kind of hard to be grateful knowing that I'm living in a world where Keith Burke is still alive, but Ulysses is gone forever. I understand how you feel, JJ. I'm not looking forward to saying goodbye to Ulysses either, especially since it will bring back the memories of that day. What exactly happened that day, Vanessa? Are you sure you're ready to hear about the details? I wouldn't have asked if I wasn't ready. What would you even gain from it, though? Vanessa, please, just tell me how Ulysses ended up losing her life. Was it quick? Was she in pain? I can't keep imagining all of these scenarios when you are right there. What makes you think that Dr. Murphy would tell me where Finnegan is? For obvious reasons, Alan. You two have a connection. Terry wouldn't tell me where she had Finnegan moved. She'd listen to you. If Dr. Murphy did everything I asked of her, she would have agreed to let me leave Valley Park with her. You were trying to leave Valley Park? Don't try and seem disappointed, Mom. Besides, it's not like leaving town is anything new to you. After Dad got full custody of me, you didn't want to stay in Valley Park. I've got you a coffee, Mr. Russo. You can leave my office, Essador. We're done talking. I'm gonna assume that things are a bit shaky between you and Essador. What gave it away? What's going on? Your superior is trying to make up for something absolutely horrendous and unforgivable. Such as, I don't want you to get in the middle of it, Vivian. Since whatever Essador did is something you consider to be unforgivable, does that mean Essador has no chance at running this company someday? You're right. It's not fair that a criminal like Keeve is still alive when such a sweet girl like Ulissa is no longer here. But Keeve is going to pay for his crimes. After everything he did to you, Vanessa, and everyone at the school, there's no way he'd ever see the light of day again. Except, you could have sped up the trial so that he wouldn't have had the chance to take Ulissa's life. Max, there was no way of knowing that he would ever do something so horrendous. Seriously? After everything he did to me and Vanessa, you just thought he'd be on his best behavior until the trial? If your mother had any idea that Keeve would do something so drastic, then yes, she would have done something. Your mother and I would do whatever it takes to protect you, Max. It blows my mind that you're defending her since she cheated on you with Keeve's father multiple times. That day was horrific, JJ. It was absolutely horrific. I'm sure it was. But where did Keeve do the damage? The hallway? The cafeteria? We were in the library. Me, Max, Ulissa, even Yvette, Nichelle, and Zeke. How come you are all in the library? Yvette, she told us how she spotted Keeve walking into the library. Max decided to confront Keeve. All of a sudden, chaos erupted. Wait a minute. Instead of getting help knowing that Keeve wasn't supposed to be in the school, Max decided to face Keeve himself? If Max knew that Keeve had a weapon, I bet he would have done things differently. He knew Keeve was insane. All of you knew how crazy he was. But you couldn't put two and two together and figure out that Keeve was gonna try and cause damage at the school? Sao ganyan. Terry, leaving Valley Park has nothing to do with why I left town. You've always known why I didn't stay here when you were growing up, Alan. I always knew that you decided to leave, but Terry didn't even have a choice. What do you mean, Alan? Forget it, Mom. Besides, if I do reach Terry, who blocked my number, by the way, what would be the point of locating Finnegan if he ends up passing away, Mom? You don't know if that's gonna happen, but let's say that it does happen. He can't be alone. Most of all, if there's a chance that he can make it, then I need to make sure that he's in a good facility. And you think I'd offer him that chance? He'd try to keep Keeve from going to prison for what he did to Maximilian and Vanessa Dorval. What's worse is that he tried using you to get Keeve to walk off scot-free. If you ask me, I think Finnegan deserves to spend his final days rotting somewhere out there by himself. Ever since Gianni was born, I thought that he would run Russo Jewelers after me since he was the oldest. But when Essador grew older, I knew that he had a drive and a hunger to take this company to the next level. Because of how skillful Essador was, it was hard for me to make a decision. And now, after finding out what he has done, I feel like it's best that Gianni be the next in line to take over this business. I really do hope that you and Essador can make amends. I'd really hate to see a family fall apart. Psych, guess that means I'll be going after Essador's shares next. Don't take what Max said to heart. After what he's been through, Heidi, his head is all over the place. He'll come around someday. No, Gianni, I don't think he will. And our son has a point. Why would you defend me after everything I've put you through? Because you're my wife, and I promise to love you for as long as I live. Pokisawap tombe, non-discussion. Your parents trusted you to watch over your brother while they were working, Vanessa. Désolé, Papa. Sakte fit jeje. Munyo bateka poteje yulisa. She could still be alive if me and other people made different choices. May I remind you that Finnegan is a victim? The fact that he's in a coma somewhere should make you realize that fact, Alan. And he allowed himself to be a victim because he failed to keep his weapons away from his maniac son. Mom, you have no idea how grateful I am that you found Finnegan after Keith left the house. I couldn't imagine losing you. Not in that way. But you won't help me find Finnegan. You'd really just stand there and not help me locate the man I love. Well, you don't seem to care that I can't be with the woman I love, so I guess we're even.